Hi everyone, it's your girl Isabella, and thank you for tuning in today's Truth Talk episode. I'm so excited. First things first, before we get into today's topic, I want to say hi to my new listeners and welcome back to my returning listeners. Thank you for the support. And the goal of this episode is to have you reflecting, have you looking on how you've handled past situations, current situations, and preventing mistakes in the future. And also thinking about your walk with God, thinking about your faith. So this is important. I'm going to be transparent with you. So I want you to also be transparent with yourself and take in what I'm saying. So before we get into today's topic, which you guys are probably just waiting to hear about, I want us to reiterate and kind of speak about the last episode, which was pushing the will. Pushing the will is basically on encouraging you to keep pushing that will, like in terms of if you are passionate about something, not stopping back because everyone else is doing it. You never know what audience you may appeal to, so keep pushing the will. But let me tell you, with this topic here, the Holy Spirit has literally been dealing with me. God has literally been sending confirmations and I've just been procrastinating. So literally this week, God's like, yo, Isabella, you need to cut it out. You need to tell my people what I've been communicating with you, what you've been learning. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this episode. So I hope this really ministers to you. This touches you. This has you in that reflective mode as it has me. Today's topic that I want to touch upon is choosing purpose over preference. Before I hop into this topic, I want you to take a few seconds to reflect on when is a time that you chose your preference over what was actually purposeful for you. Whether it was a relationship, a friendship, decision-making instance, when have you gone with what you prefer instead of what's actually good for you? Think about it. So you guys, I kid you not, this topic was literally confirmed to me 8 times. And yes, I've been counting 8 times. Like, that's why God was getting patient. Like, Isabella, you need to hurry up and record this. But the whole topic of choosing purpose over preference, sometimes people flip it around. They've been choosing their preference over their purpose. So let me give you a metaphor in order for you to see the picture that I'm painting here. So you're giving puzzle pieces in order to make this big old beautiful puzzle. But however, you've been holding on to this one piece, trying to fit it into a place where it doesn't belong. And that's kind of the situation that I'm speaking about in the sense of when it comes to people choosing their preference over their purpose. You feel me? So I know much about this because while I was having my confirmations, I experienced it first key of being overlooked. And I wasn't mad about it. I just spoke to God. I just spoke to the Holy Spirit. Just speaking and just not understanding. But literally, this is why the topic kept being ministered to me. So when it comes to preference, I'll give an example. Speaking from a female's perspective, a lot of females that I know have this preference of being with a guy that is 6 feet tall and has a car, has a job. That's beautiful. Like, he gotta look good, he gotta have all this going. That's fine. And guys too, they're the same way too. Like, they want the girl to look like this. She gotta be having this going, she gotta be doing this, she gotta just appear a certain way. But with that being said, right there, when you're looking for a person to look the part, that doesn't mean that they belong in the part that you're handling to them. And it kind of also says to God that if I settle down with this person that I've been looking for, that I've been wanting, I'm not ready for whoever you're going to give to me, who I need in my life in order to push me towards my God-given purpose. I don't know if you guys ever thought about it like that, but that's something I kind of want to point out, and I want you to think about it. Like, have I been obedient in waiting for the right person, or have I been jumping the gun because I've been settled in being lonely, or my clock is ticking, or I need to get this done by a certain deadline, or I just need somebody there with me? Like, just think about that. I literally thank God for the wisdom I've gained in my season of singleness. Going back to my experience of me being overlooked firsthand, it was a moment that had me thinking. I was not mad about, I wasn't happy about it. It just left me disappointed when I was listening to the words that were being said. It was okay for me to feel some type of way in that moment. When I was listening to my friend communicate to me on what the other person had explained to her, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So being transparent with all my listeners, what happened was a guy had spoke the truth on why he wouldn't speak nor want to get to know me. He stated that I had the good looks, but I just didn't have what exactly he was looking for. He had in his mind a certain image of a girl he would want to be with, which was similar to his past situations he was in. My friend had said it in simple words and in disappointment that he prejudged you without getting to know you, and that bothers me. Honestly, in that moment, I was like, dang, but all thanks belong to God for saving me in that moment. It spoke volumes to me and confirmation that he was not the one for me. I wouldn't lie, that left a sour taste in my mouth about this guy, But I couldn't be mad that he went with what he would rather prefer. I wish I could say to him, thank you for that. It ties into the topic of people choosing their preference over their purpose. And I thought about how, when someone is interested in you or something like that, or just want to know how you are, they'll ask you a question on, what are you looking for in a partner? And there's a slight possibility that the person that's asking the question will try their best to tailor themselves into what you mentioned when they're not confident. Another thing that I also touched upon when speaking to my friend is that when the guy had told her that he's used to settling with girls that look this certain way or appear this certain way, is because his mind has programmed it of something he's familiar with. So because I am a unique individual, I'm not what he's used to. Of course, he wouldn't go for me immediately, but when we have to know, and I'm emphasizing on this, is that the enemy will send people that we are familiar with in order to keep messing with us, in order to repeat cycles that we probably went through. And what you need to do this year, and I encourage everyone, is to break the cycle. If you notice that the people that you're with, they have certain characteristics, and it's not of one that's helping you grow closer to God, but instead it's keeping you in situations that are not pleasant, that is not of God, you should separate yourself. You should pray about it. You should be able to discern, because sometimes we go back to people that we're used to. So whether it's an ex of ours, an old friend of ours, because we know this person so well. We know this person so well. So it's easy for you to open up. It's easy for you to share instead of learning and meeting somebody new and starting all over. I hope you guys are following along and understanding what I'm painting and informing you guys. So earlier this year, I had an opportunity to be a part of the Breaking the Cycle Challenge with the Millers, Married and Young, and I learned a lot. I learned that some of Satan's tricks to destroy our destiny is through toxic relationships, whether it's friendship, whether it's boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, fiance relationships, anything before marriage. And even sometimes a marriage too can be toxic. But another thing in there is that people don't realize that they're in toxic situations until it has manifested into something that they do not want to be in. So we start noticing change in behaviors, change in how we handle certain situations. But it's because we've settled without us honestly asking God if this is something for me. And I want to let you know, it's okay for you to be alone. It's okay for you to be alone in a season. You know, like if you need some time apart, take that time. It's okay. But I don't want you to be stuck in a situation with someone or a friend or whatever because you've known them so long. You know, sometimes people stay friends with somebody because I've known them from 5 years, for 10 years. But also, you need to think, how has this person helped me grow? Have they improved my mindset? Have they improved my spiritual life? Have they helped me grow in a sense of me becoming closer to where I need to head? If not, I want you to strongly pray, boldly too, to ask God to deliver you from any strongholds that are in your life. I want you to ask God to deliver you from anything that is holding you back and removing it out of your life completely. And they also told me that marrying the wrong person can pull you out of the will of God. And I keep emphasizing this, and I want this to register with you, and also is registering for me as I say this, is that God has someone for you that can push you into your purpose. Whether it's that friend that's always encouraging you to do good things, helping you reflect, correcting you when you're wrong, and cheering you when you're doing right. Or whether it's that partner in your life that's pushing you towards your dreams, your goals, always supporting you. Just know that God has that person for you. And if you found that person, please do not take them for granted, because they're a precious gem that's in your life. So I want you to also have this ability to allow yourself to be broken before the Lord. If you are struggling this, you can't walk away from everything on your own. So when you come broken before the Lord, He can cleanse you. He can help you. He can re-guide you, because He's always with us. Just want to encourage you if you needed to hear this in this moment. And speaking to my singles or those that are in relationships and not married yet, I want to also point something out to you, is that you can't be unequally yoked with your partner, you know? Stop thinking you can build that person up. You can't become their parent. You need to be with somebody who loves God more than you. Man, I strive to have that future husband that loves God more than he loves me, because if he does, he'll be able to lead me in a way. And also, when you're moving towards marriage, marry somebody with a vision. When there's a lack of vision, the family will perish. When a guy is the head, he must have a vision for his personal life and the family. And same thing vice versa when you're talking about your future wife, you know. So I want you to honestly pray, because you know you're not truly free when you keep going back to the residue that's in your life. You can even develop soul ties through friendship, in case you guys didn't know. I'll have another talk on what soul ties are and what are steps from you breaking away from that. So I'm gonna wrap this up today, and I want you guys to, if you're in this mindset of always finding yourself choosing preference over purpose, I want you to allow God to renew your mindset. I want you to refuse to go back to what you're familiar with. Try something new. Surround yourself with people who can pray for you in times of weakness, as it states in Luke chapter 22, verse 31. Be with somebody that can take you to the next level, and don't get caught up in what you want. Just focus on what you honestly need. Believe the signs that God shows you about that person. If He sends red flags and signals, pay attention to it. Do not ignore it. Okay? Understand. And with that being said, thank you for tuning into today's podcast and choosing your purpose over your preference. I want you guys to have a blessed day wherever you're heading. Pray that God opens your mind, opens your heart in order for you to receive what I said today. Okay? Bye.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.